What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. Cheers. Let's get into this, guys. Let me fix my camera real quick. There we go. What is up? What is up, guys? Just excited. Bitcoin just broke over 110K briefly. We are back below 110, but I think good things and big things are ahead of us, guys. If you guys are just joining, welcome. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. We had a fantastic streams this past weekend, our members only streams. Other than that, we predicted this big run that was going to be coming. Markets were looking like they were just poised to run. Obviously, we are running off some good news with the trade deals with China and stuff like that. We have a lot of other stuff going on that we're going to cover. So let's do this, guys. Again, welcome. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Slap those likes. Let's get it going. And let's do this. So Bitcoin right now, excuse me, coming off of a big run for today so far. I mean, we still have a lot of more room to move, but right now we just ran up to 110,000, almost 110,600 to be exact. We are cooling off from that big move. What's going on? Why are we seeing such big candles for today? We're on the hourly, obviously, but if you really think about it, as of just yesterday, I believe this was yesterday, the 9th, we have run up $5,000 from this bottom to the top, and literally 36 hours, Bitcoin has literally ran up $5,000 from Sunday to today. Why is this? Well, obviously we have a lot of news coming out. Today's talks with China supposedly have been nothing but positive. Today they were basically meeting up for over 6 hours with a continuation meeting for tomorrow as well, and they are over in London with these talks. So definitely the markets are reacting positively right now, and you can see obviously we're back above that 110,000. Markets are actually moving pretty swiftly today. 110,001, just literally a few minutes ago we were back down to 109.8. So you're going to see a lot of fluctuations in the markets for right now, just given off of this great news that we have in regards to the tariffs and the trade talk for right now. So Art, what's going on, brother? Ricky's in the house. What's going on, guys? Welcome. But yeah, so everything's looking good, guys. It's great to see that Bitcoin is back above 110,000. And think about this. We were covering this yesterday on the members only stream when Bitcoin was getting up there. You know, yesterday we were talking about this. We were getting some decent volume. What's going on with coin market cap? Let's see here. Sorry for the blank screen. Internet running okay? There it is. So yesterday we were talking about this. Seeing volume wasn't this past weekend. The volume wasn't bad, right? Normally we go through the weekends and volume is just so dull. This past weekend, volume's been pretty decent. Was pretty decent. Sunday we started to see some good movement. I called it yesterday on the early members stream that later on in the day yesterday we were going to see some volume coming into the market most likely, and that's exactly what we saw. Futures opened up. S&P back above $6,000, getting close to its all-time high. Bitcoin obviously running up to 110,000. Markets are very positive with everything that's going on right now. One thing that I did point out yesterday, which was a very good thing, was the fear and greed index. I feel like a lot of people haven't been covering this that I've been seeing, but the fear and greed index right now, as even yesterday, we were at 106, 107,000, and we're back in the neutral. Very, very good sign right here, knowing or basically letting us know that there's a lot more room to move up. If we were in greed or extreme greed and we were at 110,000, I'd be a little worried that potentially we were going to see some kind of a top. But the fact that we're in such a neutral spot right now, meaning that the market is very bullish, but we're not in overbought territories necessarily, right? With that being said, probably a lot more room to move, and I wouldn't be surprised this next big run that we have, we're most likely going to be breaking all-time highs, probably here soon. The question is how high are we going to get, right? How high are we going to get as far as where we're at and where we're headed? So far, obviously, 112, somewhere around 112 is going to be our all-time high. We're literally, if we just kind of look to see how far we are away, we're less than 2% away from all-time highs. So we could literally hit all-time highs tonight, most likely. And with that being said, where are alts, right? Remember, we were talking about this last week or 2 weeks ago. I was telling you guys, alts are delayed, right? It's always like this during the bull market where you're seeing Bitcoin running up. It feels like everything's about Bitcoin, but at some point it'll shift. Not saying that Bitcoin's going to crash or anything like that, but it'll shift and interest will start switching over to alts. And that's what we're going to end up seeing here soon, but not anytime soon, because you can see, excuse me, as of now, Bitcoin dominance is still so high up, so close to 65% right now as far as dominance. We definitely want to see dominance coming down, but right now, Bitcoin still holding the show, and we'll let it be. We'll let it be. This just gives you a little bit more time. Gives you a little bit more time to accumulate on alts. Art said he's high as F right now. There you go. Dominance is high. Art's high. I guess that's just what it is right now. I don't smoke anymore, bro, or I'd be right there with you. I can only imagine if I was, hosting the show, and because I think you can smoke online now. Like it's as long as it's like legal and wherever you're smoking, I'm pretty sure you can smoke. I would have like a smoke and crypto channel, but I don't smoke, and if I did, I probably would be tripping out in front of you guys live. It wouldn't be good. I'm telling you that right now. It would not be good. So it's been so long that I would imagine that I would literally be spazzing out in front of you guys. What's going on, Ricky? Ricky said, I said hi. Well, I said hi back. Art said it's not legal where he's at. All right, great. Well, if there's any cops listening, he's talking about, he smokes, what's that legal stuff that you can smoke that's like Delta 8, right? Delta 8. That's what he's smoking on. Getting back to the show here, Art's going to take us down that rabbit hole. Looking at the crypto bubbles, you guys can see nothing but green. This white rock has been, yesterday it was down like crazy as well, but nevertheless, the rest of the market is absolutely looking fantastic right now. Nothing but green across the board, doing great. Looking at the DeFi is really flipped over into the green today. Billy being our top mover. Where's Flip at? Billy up 16% on the 24 hours. Fartcoin finally starting to come back. Fartcoin was starting to scare me. It like literally dropped down. I mean, you can see since we've had this drop down, Fartcoin in the last few months has been really just holding very strong, even through, a lot of these, rough weeks that we've had in the past few, months or whatever the case is. Fartcoin's been really holding, right? It's just one of those farts that just like linger and they're there. They're not going away. Get a fan. It's not blowing away. It's just staying there. And that's what Fartcoin's been doing. But in the last few days, it dropped. This thing dropped down to about 87 cents. Now it's bounced right back up to $1.20. Absolutely epic run right there on Fartcoin. So looking great. Moonpig. I told my members yesterday I picked up some Moonpig when it dropped down. I actually picked up a little late. It was like around like the 16, 17 area yesterday when it had a big drop, and I ended up selling. If you guys remember in the Discord, I brought up, I said Moonpig was up like 35%. Like right after I bought, it took a big run, and I was like, you know what? Knowing Moonpig, I was like, let me just take these profits, because I was like, it's probably going to take a crap right after that. And you guys can see since then, this thing has dropped down. I kind of wish that I would have caught the 17 area. Seems to be a decent little spot to accumulate Moonpig. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence with Moonpig if this is like a long-term play or not. I mean, it has, what's his name? James Nguyen, I think it is. The guy that's like the big whale that's been, doing all the leverage trading and stuff like that. They have him, on their side promoting the hell out of the project. So, I mean, it's been staying pretty trending on Solana, but it just has these like crazy scam moves, in my opinion, where it's like it'll run up 50, 60% and then 5 minutes later it's down 90%. And, it's just like doing these crazy moves. A lot of manipulation in the project, in my opinion, which I just don't like. I don't like to see those crazy swings, but if you can, map those swings out properly, right? I mean, look at some of these moves where it just drops down to the abyss and then 5 minutes later, it's up like 150%, not really 5 minutes, but whether it's the next day or whatever the case is, it's these swings are crazy if you can catch them, right? So that's kind of like what I'm doing here is like just, been buying in And then if we jump up 50%, 30 or 50%, I'm jumping out, just catching those profits and getting the hell out. So Rosales, what's going on, bro? Ricky said everyone is high. I said hi. All right, bro. You sound kind of high with your confusion. Rosales, what's going on, brother? ¿Qué pasa, chico? So the Ethereum and Solana, let's go. Where is Ethereum at right now? Nice. She's still in that consolidation area that we were talking about yesterday on the members only stream. But I mean, she's having a nice little run. Ethereum, as much shit as Ethereum's taken in the last few, like the last year, maybe even 2 years, right? A lot of people have been sleeping on Ethereum. It's to be, I'm trying to say like the right words, but I understand why, right? Because it's been underperforming. You have a lot of competition now with Solana and a lot of other projects, but I think Ethereum is here to stay. Obviously, very big. I've always told you guys, that's Ethereum made me a lot of money in the first years of my investing when I was buying Ethereum under $1,000 before our previous bull run back in 2020-21. So I'm always gonna have respect for Ethereum. You can see a nice little move, and it just looks like this thing is just like, it's just waiting. It's just waiting for Bitcoin to really do its thing. And really, I mean, and you say do its thing, I mean, it's at 110,000, but we know Bitcoin is going to get to a certain spot where it's just like 120, 130, 140, 150, somewhere around there. I think when we get to like 120 area and above, you're going to probably start seeing Ethereum poking out, breaking above that 3,000 area. And like I keep telling you guys, if you really zoom out on Ethereum, this was the last bull run in 2021. You can see so far, other than what we always bring up was that brief time that we saw a brief altcoin, little mini altcoin season in December of 2024, which was technically about 7 months ago. Ethereum ran up to about $4,100, right? Broke above this trend, but couldn't stay above, right? Saw that little mean double top, came up, hit its head at both times at 4,100, got rejected. But what I'm getting to is Ethereum really doesn't have to take up much for it to break above this trend now, right? $3,650 will break above the trend. So, and also that'll get it around 3,700 will be its 236 fib retracement. If we can get above these areas and stay above, I think the market as alts are going to really get that confidence, and you're going to start seeing a lot of money flowing into these alts. I know a lot of people just don't understand what altcoin season is. You've heard of it, but you really don't understand unless you've lived it, where altcoin season is those days where you're seeing 40, 50, 100% moves just daily on your alts. Not every single alt every single day, but just like insane shit that we're going to be covering, where I'm like, bro, do you see this project, Solana or whatever, fill in the blank, right? Up 70%, the next day up 80%, like it just continuously just running and just feels like it's just unstoppable. It feels like, right? But it's going to be a brief span, fast, swift, where altcoin season runs for like 2 solid months, somewhere around there. And then it, in my opinion, going off of 2021, that was it. That was the end of the cycle. So at some point we will get there, guys. And your favorite alts, your meme coins, all that shit is going to be just like, from compared to where we're at right now to where we'll be, it's going to be mind boggling in my opinion. So while we're talking, I keep looking over, and it's like crazy because Bitcoin keeps running above 110, and then it's like getting rejected. Let's look at the 15-minute real quick. It keeps running up. You can see, keeps running up. This is on the 15-minute. It keeps going up to, like, you can see we broke right here. Obviously, we ran up to 110.5, 110.6 pretty much, 110, 150, 110.2. It keeps running up and getting rejected. But it looks like we're trying to find on the 15 minutes some good support at around this 109,900 area. So do your thing, Bitcoin. We're just here chilling, watching you, bro. We're just chilling here watching you. Yeah, ETH does look good, bro. Tim, what's going on, bro? Flip's in the house. Flip, Billy. Billy's our top mover for today on DeFi, bro. I know you're still holding on to that. What is Solana? Solana's at around 160 right now. Not looking too bad. Nice little wake up. XRP 230, not looking bad. ICP looking decent, still in like a kind of a consolidation zone. You can see, I mean, I'd say us breaking out of this consolidation is going to be breaking above this $6.35 mark right here. But you can see even ICP, disclaimer, I am a big, well, I'm not gonna say a big holder, but one of my bigger bags is ICP, right? Been accumulating ICP under $5, so it's good to see that she's starting to break out here. So, but along with everything right now, you got Pepe looking good, up about 7%. Jasmine kind of lagging on Jasmine right now. It's up about 4%, but Jasmine likes to do this where she kind of like hangs out. People kind of like sleep on her, and then out of nowhere, she's just going to start just running and running and running. Everybody in this, mark my words, when this happens, everybody wouldn't be in here. Maybe no one that's talking right now, but we'll have a lot of new people coming in screaming Jasmine to the moon. It feels like it happens every time. Bunk, nice little move. Up about 10% right now. Myro is up about 5% right now, not looking bad. Fetch has been a good mover, in my opinion, from this big drop. This wasn't the, well, yeah, this was it. This was the drop. We called this in our members only stream. Just what we covered it, at one time when we were down and out, and everybody was like, "Bro, what the f is going on?" We basically went and we had our members only stream, and I explained right now. This is when we need to figure out if there's anything that you felt like you got missed out on. This is the time right now. And Fetch was one of the big movers that I said, this is going to be something you guys want to keep an eye out on. Obviously, with AI being such a big thing, but Fetch going down to 34 cents. I was like, bro, this is a bargain. This is a bargain right here. Obviously, we've seen Fetch go all the way up to almost $1 since we called it out on the members only stream. Almost a 3x on that. But as you guys can see, Fetch right now up about 7% at around that 80-cent mark. Looking fantastic right now. So looking good on that. And like I said, bro, across the board, the market just looks good. The market just looks good. Arbitrum coming from the dead up 6%. ALI, we don't talk about ALI at all. What's going on? Ricky, ALI's been consolidating like crazy, bro. This thing's probably going to end up popping. This is like cheap AI project that's on Ethereum network. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing probably starts rocketing like it always does. But I always say this, right? Obviously not financial advice, but I always say if this thing, like if you do accumulate AI or ALI where it's at right now, just look for this crazy spurt. This thing likes to run up 100, 150%, like you see like on these moves because it's got a very small market cap. Take the profits because I'm guaranteeing, not financial advice, but you'll probably get another time to accumulate more, right? And you'll be able to take those profits, use those profits, and just pick up more on the next big dip. You just have to be patient, right? But I mean, look at some of these moves that ALI has done, right? Just massive spurts towards the top, but it always ends up coming back down for whatever reason. It can never hold those solid gains. So Ricky said he's keeping it his secret. Tim, let's talk about ladies and chill guy, ? Bro, no one's been coming in here and asking about ladies. Look at this. My chart's like outdated right now. Move this fib over. I will say, bro, like, nothing against Milady. I hope she, rips, but no one's been coming in here talking about Milady. It's kind of like everybody's kind of just like forgetting about Milady right now, right? You can see the downward trend, obviously, that it's occurred. It looks like it's wanting to break out of the trend, so we'll see how this plays out. Obviously, Milady being one of these meme coins that has such a small market cap that, I mean, if and when this thing finally just goes crazy, I think there's going to be massive upside potential. $30 million market cap. I mean, this thing right here, I mean, it could easily just run up to like 300 million and 10x from where it's at right now, right? Like easily. So definitely finding some support at around that 40 area. That's a good little spot, or below. The 40 or below obviously is a good spot. You can see back here, I mean, last time it was under that 40 level, you saw a nice little run up. Milady's kind of the same thing like ALI, right? If I was to accumulate right here, if and when this thing ran up 80, 90%, I probably would take profits right? With intentions of buying back at some point when it drops back down, because it seems to be doing that, just continuously, where it will consolidate, and then at some point you'll see like a big run, everybody saying, oh, look at me lady, and then like 2 days later it's back down, right? But I will say that's been the story for a lot of alts, right? Exactly. You already know, Ricky. Right when this thing just starts, but I mean, she's gonna need to break out, bro. She really is gonna need to break out, because I'm starting to think like Milady is kind of like what is it, Dog Elon, right? Like Dog Elon, like I pray for them because like Dog Elon, if you've been holding on to that, it's just like you see these crazy moves towards the upside, and then it just always goes back down, right? Everybody's like, this is it. And then like the day later, it's right back down to where it was at. That's why with Dog Elon, I've been sold every time someone comes in or like Dog Elon's pumping. Those every 6 months when it pumps those like few days, I'm like, take profits. We come back a day later and it's right back down after like a 300% pump. I'm like, just take profits, bro. It just does not want to hold. But yeah, everything's looking good. Let's jump into a couple of things here, and then if you guys want to look at any other projects, just let me know. So let's see here. This was a story that just came out, I think today. We're not gonna really get into it much, but it's good. The SEC Chair Atkins voice support for Bitcoin and crypto self custody. So this is basically the guy that took Gary Gensler's position. What I like is that he's basically been very pro crypto, right? And you can see off of this, Justin SEC Chair Paul Atkins announces his effort to draft policy that would exempt DeFi platforms from certain regulatory hurdles. We recognize the innovation and want to assure it thrives in the U.S. This right here I like. Keep DeFi part of the Wild West, right? I know I always say this. It's rough out there in DeFi, right? There's scams, rug pulls, but there's also so much opportunity for you to like freaking 20 extra money so fast, right? If you just make that right move, right? So I think keeping DeFi where it is for the most part, maybe there could be a little bit of some kind of rules, implemented, but that would take away DeFi as we know it, right? I personally think DeFi the way it is it's so risk taking, but on the flip side, if you just make that one solid move in DeFi and, you jump in or you get in at the right time on a project, right when it drops or whatever the case is, so much money to be made. You think about DeFi and so many projects, that's where they start from. It's the stomping ground, right? For Pepe, for Bunk, right? For, anything you can think of, they all dropped on certain ecosystems, but started off where you could only buy them on DeFi, right? And imagine the people that were able to get the opportunity to stumble across some of these projects. Yeah, most of them sold early, right? Like Dog with Hat. I mean, we could go down the list of all these projects, but imagine the money that is made. This is what I love about DeFi, right? You don't have to go to a central exchange and pay them their massive fees to buy these projects. If you know what you're doing, right? As all of us do, you have your DeFi wallets on whatever particular ecosystem you're looking for or that you're trading on, and you get on these projects before they even hit crypto.com or Coinbase or Binance or anything like that. So I like that he basically wants to draft a policy that would exempt DeFi platforms from certain regulatory hurdles, basically try to keep DeFi where it's at, right? So, but obviously trade at your own risk because it is very risky. So, and I don't really want to read through much, but basically the SEC chair also gives his support for people self-custody their crypto assets and personal digital wallets, basically like DeFi, cold wallets and stuff like that. The right to have self-custody of one's private property is a fundamental American value that should not disappear when one logs onto the internet. And that's awesome. That's awesome. I think the government, you have, some people on one side that are for it, and you have some people on the other side that are like, but we can't see what they're doing, right? We can't see what they're holding, right? And it's all about them wanting to tax you on whatever you're holding or whatever you're doing. DeFi, it's kind of in that gray area, right? I always promote paying your taxes. But with DeFi, it's in that gray area where they really don't know what the frick is going on DeFi as far as like whose wallets are who and what moves are being made. So that's why you have a certain half that wants to really get a hold of DeFi and be able to regulate it and really just keep that scope on it, or put a scope on it so they can tax, right? Because that's what it's all about. That's the only reason why they really want to get involved with DeFi, is pretty much because they can see the transactions and they can tax you on any freaking, oh Ricky just made a few dollars, you owe us half. You owe us half, buddy. Pay it up, or we're gonna start garnishing your wages. Right? Absolutely crazy. Oh shit, guys, I didn't even realize it. Guys, listen to this. This is big. This is probably one of the biggest things that we've talked about. I'm back on the tea. I'm freaking sipping tea again. It's summertime. I was like, bro, it's hot as shit. It's 90 degrees right now and the sun's going down. It's freaking 90 degrees right now. It's time for tea again, guys. You guys remember last year we did, what did we do? Twisted tea the whole freaking summer. The whole summer, to where when it hit wintertime, I didn't even want to look at. The waitress would come up to me. She's like, we have fresh sweet tea. I was like, babe, I don't even want to know about tea right now. I've drank so much tea in the last 3 months. I don't want anything to do with tea. Just bring me some water. That's all I want. Well, I'm back on the tea. We're back on it. Flip said Degen and ACH I bought today. Craig said, I thought you meant testosterone. Nah, bro. Who jumps off of that? That's year round, bro. I'm just messing with you. No, I'm back on the tea, bro. I'm back on the tea. I am back on the tea, though. I'm back on the tea. Oh, now I get what you mean. The tea, testosterone. I'm like, all right, now I get it. I get it now, bro. Craig said he's going to win the Powerball tonight. Hell yeah. Did you guys see the other day? I was like you know what? I'm feeling froggy. I was like, I was like the Powerball or the Mega Millions, right? And I was like, you know what? I was like, can I get a ticket for the Mega Millions? And the lady looks at me. She goes, honey, you know it's $5 now? I was like, $5 for one ticket? She's like, yeah. They went from $2 to $5. I was like, holy shit. Expensive. Inflation even hit the lottery. It even hit the lottery. I'm like, well, maybe it makes the odds better. I was like, no, the odds are even worse. It's literally hit. Inflation has literally hit everywhere. But inflation's been going down. Flip, you said you bought Degen. Degen's on base, right? If I'm not mistaken. I feel like we had a Degen chart. Oh, Rosales, I'm just reading your comment, bro. He said, my girl just bought Ethereum for the first time. She's happy. Hell yeah, bro. Just make sure it stays up, because if that Ethereum starts dropping, bro, you might get the hell out of there, because then she's going to be looking at you like... Craig, bro, I understand, bro. That's what I was going through for the last few months. Definitely was just like, bro, sluggish. Just yeah. I gotta be careful, because I don't want to I don't know what their guidelines is and stuff like that. Like, I don't promote any of that stuff, but definitely right there with you. Now I'm feeling pretty good nowadays, bro. Feeling good in the last few weeks, But I've been going through some massive injuries and stuff. Everybody knows on the channel, for the most part. I've been going through some massive injuries, because I was going so heavy at the gym that I was like literally a ticking time bomb, and literally just like hyperextended my elbow. I'm pretty sure I blew out my bicep at the same time. So I've been like finally getting back to like like actually getting to heavy weights again. But I'm more going towards like not going crazy. I was going crazy, bro. Like 120s, like over the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like shoulder presses and like 315 on the incline. And just like push, and like my body was like, bro, take it easy. So now it's just like I've throttled back so much on on the weights. Art's over here. I knew it. Noodle arm crip. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, like 3 months I had to take off. You guys remember my injury? 3 months I had to take off where I was just like basically like I wasn't even lifting at all. I was doing like just I have to go to the gym like daily, doing legs, cardio, stuff like that I normally don't ever really do as far as like cardio and stuff, and it was killing me. I was like literally like, bro, I'm getting so small. But it is what it is, bro. I'm not like freaking 21 years old anymore, so. Ricky said I suck at lotto, so I try to make my own jackpot with crypto. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. I honestly, bro, I truly think that the lottery is a scam. I really do think it's a scam. I'm telling you. I know the odds are like forever stacked against you, but I feel like those fuckers are like, they know whenever they're like doing the numbers, right? Like let's say that everybody's bought all their tickets and it's the night of. Those fuckers know what numbers were bought, so they know what combination to like, to put out that no one wins for a while. And then it's like, I always notice whenever there's like $1 billion drawing and everybody's going crazy, watch. The winners are always in California or in New York, right? I'm always noticing that. And you have to remember the states take, like California, they have state tax, right? And this goes for crypto as well. So if like you're selling, you're selling your investments, California is going to take more than what they're going to take from you, like in Florida. Florida, there's no state tax. So like with the lottery in Florida, I think you take home from the lottery like 45% after taxes, right? In California, you take home like 30%, like 28 to 30% of everything you win. After everything is all said and done, you walk away with 28 to 30% of your earnings, right? Because there's state tax on top of all the other taxes. And I feel like states that have that, you see a lot more winners, right? And I feel like it's just like it's rigged. I really do feel like it's rigged, like with the states and everything like that. So I don't know, conspiracy theory, right? And then you always watch those. I don't know if you guys have seen those videos where go look them up, where the like people that won the lottery, like the bad things, bro. Sometimes I don't even know if we want to. You don't want that, right? I'm telling you straight up, I always think about it. I would prefer to get very wealthy on my own, right? As probably most of us, I would rather prefer to get wealthy off of owning a business or making good moves through crypto and my investments and stuff like that versus just winning a bunch of money, right? Investing and doing it on your own, even going out there and working hard, right? Like, I mean, like actually working and just saving your money, whatever, however you get to the point where you're wealthy, right? I feel like you appreciate it so much more than versus just getting handed, $100 million. Yes, it sounds amazing, but I just feel like it mentally changes a person for the bad, right? Because anything that you don't really have to work hard for, you don't really appreciate it, right? And then I feel like from there on, it just would probably bring some bad stuff, in my opinion, where you're just out doing dumb shit versus you work hard, you make good moves with investments, right? It's more of a strategy. You got there, you accomplish it, you look at it, and you're like, holy shit, you appreciate it so much more, right? So if I had the option of either or, which we do, right? We're going to get rich off of crypto versus lottery, So Bitcoin's at all-time highs? What are you talking about, bro? Don't scare the shit out of me like that. Art's over here saying Bitcoin's at all-time highs. You gotta be careful with Art, bro. Gotta be very careful with him. Flipperoni. We've been looking at Degen, but I haven't said anything for the last 20 minutes. Art said he's high. Oh, man. Yeah, bro. We're not all-time highs yet, dude. We're getting there. We're getting there, bro. We're not there yet. Ricky said give him 100 mil and he guarantees he's going to do some dumb shit. I bet, bro. Like what? Finish your massive bathroom, your pool bathroom that you have going? You're not fooling anybody, buddy. Talking about, oh, if I win the lottery. Don't get fooled by Ricky. He's a whale. He is a whale. We've already verified it. Nice one, Ricky. All right, so let's talk about Degen real quick. Flipperoni. So it looks like it's broke above the 0.5. So nice little pivotal spot that it looks like it was going to get some massive resistance. We're looking at the 1 hour. Didn't even acknowledge it. I wonder what's going on with the project because it looks like it's getting a nice little pump. But right now, $100 million market cap, $1 million in liquidity on this swap. Obviously, this is traded on base. I mean, the project looks legit. It looks legit. Nice little move from this bottom right here, dude. That's a massive move. Let's measure that out. Really? No way. Dude, am I high? Bro, doesn't this look like this would be like a freaking like 100% move or something? 17%. Like, what the hell? That looks like that would be like a freaking 150% move towards the upside. And it's legit a 17.5% move. I was like expecting this massive like percent-wise move. I mean, it's still doing good, but shit. Looks can be deceiving, I guess, right, Ricky? Looks can be deceiving. Bro, look who's back. Ayaz, don't start spamming it, bro. I don't know how you got out of timeout, but do not start spamming it, all right, buddy? Don't do it. Well, let's make a deal. You can spam your project once every 5 minutes, all right? Once every 5 minutes, you can spam it. But if you beat the 5-minute threshold, you go on timeout for 10 minutes, all right? Got to put rules, guys. If you don't, he'll come in here and just start spamming the chat, going crazy. And then he disappears. But yeah, I mean, it looks good, bro. It looks good. I was really expecting like this thing to like show me like 100% gain from this bottom. I mean, it's insane, but I mean, hey, we'll take a 17% move. We'll take a 17% move, so not bad. But like I was saying a little while ago, as far as like DeFi projects, I mean, DeFi today, all in the green for most of our projects, right? Doing pretty good as of now. So, I mean, the markets are looking great. The markets are looking absolutely fantastic. And we talked about why is Bitcoin, why the markets, not just the markets, but why. I mean, you had stock market doing really well today, S&P breaking above 6K. Today, where is the S&P? S&P breaking above $6,000 looks great. My 401k is just bounced. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't check when we dropped down to like 4,800. I was like, I'm not even gonna look at my 401k. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Fun fact, I have more money in my 401k than I have in crypto, right? So I was just like, you know what, I'm not even, because normally you don't even have to like look at the S&P, just let it be. But yeah, when it dropped down to here, I was like, I'm not even gonna look at it. But since it's bounced, I've went back and I'm like, nice, beautiful V-shaped recovery on the S&P. So I mean, the markets are doing great. Nasdaq having a good day today as well. Dow Jones, same thing. All of them are all getting close to all-time highs again. The dollar staying pretty consistent around that $99 mark today. Tesla was up about 5%. Oil down, what we want to see. Gold kind of flat today. And like I said, I mean, the big movers today was crypto. Was the big movers for today. So looks great. Bitcoin well above that $110,000 mark again at around 110,400 for right now. So she's looking good. And if you're wondering, obviously, what's going on, why are we moving? Well, the U.S. right now is in talks with China, right? Today we had our first, or technically our second meeting, right? But it was the first meetings for the second part today in London. 6 hours. From what we're being told, everything was good. We didn't get any word that people just walked out. Remember last time they said that the Chinese officials walked out early, and it wasn't the best meeting. Well, today, 6 hours, everything was good. Tomorrow they're meeting back up again early in the morning tomorrow in London. So we'll get some good news hopefully tomorrow, and they can start getting towards finalizing something that's going on. Because remember, America right now, we technically still have tariffs on China. Remember, we throttled back, but they're still at 30%. That's a lot. That's far higher than what we had just 4 or 5 months ago. So we definitely want to see some resolve with all that and really just get close to that 0% tariff on both sides. I think the markets will absolutely love that, and we'll see some more movement towards the upside with all that being said. So Bitcoin top alts, like Vince token, what the hell is that? They all rose today on the U.S.-China trade talks. Talks got underway. Bitcoin climbed to 108,000. This article is from earlier today. Its highest level since May 29th, marking a 7.55% gain from its monthly low. Let's see here. I think they're like trying to push their own coins. Vince token, Kia. I don't know if you guys have heard of these. I know Raven token and Fartcoin SPX 6900 was up as well. So the likely catalyst was the easing of trade tensions between the United States and China, with negotiations beginning in London on Monday afternoon. Talks are expected to extend into Tuesday. Markets are hopeful that the two sides will reach an agreement to ease export controls and possibly reduce tariffs. Such an outcome would likely temper investors' fears that have been lingered for months amid escalating trade regulations. So Bitcoin and altcoins rose as accumulation continued. Strategy, remember we talked about this yesterday. Strategy bought 1,000 Bitcoins worth 110 million last week, bringing its total holdings to 582,000 coins worth over 62 billion. Other companies like Trump Media, Metaplanet, GameStop have continued buying Bitcoin. This wave of accumulation has pushed the amount of Bitcoin held on exchanges down to 1.18 million compared to a 1.157 million in the beginning of this year, January 1st. Declining exchange balances are typically viewed as bullish, indicating that investors are moving assets onto self-custodies for long-term holdings. To just explain this, and I know most of us already know, but usually it's bearish when there's, let's just say, big whales that are holding onto Bitcoin and they have them on their own wallets, cold wallets, right? Well, we always get word, if a big whale or there's been some kind of a big transfer from a cold wallet onto an exchange. Well, why is that bearish? Well, the only reason why anyone would keep their stuff, as far as like when you're getting to those big levels, like these whales, they take their money off because obviously cold wallets are a lot more secure than just holding your stuff onto these hackable exchanges, right? So when you see transfers going from cold wallets onto exchanges, it usually is a sign of them most likely using the exchange for an off-ramp, aka selling their Bitcoin, trading their Bitcoin for dollars, right? But on the opposite, if you're seeing a low amount of exchanges holding on to Bitcoin, it usually means that it's a very bullish sign, because that means that most of the Bitcoin that's being obtained or being held is off exchanges, meaning that there's no plans in the near future to sell any Bitcoin, right? So that's usually a very bullish sign that right now they're saying 1.18 million compared to 1.57 just 6 months ago. It has gone down almost 0.5%, or I'm sorry, gone down about 400,000 Bitcoin in the last 6 months as far as what exchanges are holding in Bitcoin. So Jay said, breaking news, Jay is almost even on his alts. Imagine how you're going to feel, bro, when you're back into the green, right? Secure that bag, brother. And let's see here. So Bitcoin price, cup and handle patterns. This is Ricky's territory. My boy's always talking about his cup and handles. But you guys can see for basically this year, we formed some kind of you can see the cup pattern. And then you can see the handle, right? I'll pull it up on our one of our charts so you can kind of look at it. There's a chart right here. No. Try to find a chart that I haven't friggin' touched. There we go. So what they're pretty much calling is like a cup and handle. Let me see here. I believe, Ricky, if I'm not mistaken, right? They're really what they're calling is because I mean you can see other cups and handles forming, but you can see if I can finally do this, you have the cup, right, and then you have the handle right here. It's pretty much what they're calling. Why is this, bullish? Well, usually the cup and handle usually means you had the drawdown, right? You had the move towards the upside. You almost have this bear flag that's like the handle. And a lot of times that tends to indicate that there's going to be some rapid move towards the upside if this plays out. Very bullish indicator, that, people run off of. It's not 100% bulletproof, obviously, as none of these are, but something like that you can see on their chart is what people are calling out. And on this chart, they're measuring, right? I don't know how they're doing their measurement. They're coming from some kind of a top to some kind of a bottom. But what they do is they measure that top and bottom from the top of the cup to the bottom of the cup. And then they bring it back up here and do pretty much the opposite. And what they're seeing is that what this cup and handle could bring is somewhere of around $140,000 Bitcoin. So with that being said, that could be something like that, where we could see a move, not necessarily exactly like that. There are always going to be ups and downs like a staircase, but something like that where we could see $140,000 Bitcoin in the near future. I 100% agree with this. 100%. That kind of puts at where I've been talking about, guys, right? For the last, few months, if not this whole year, we've been talking about this, where I honestly think that the top of this market, now other people will be like, oh, that's the beginning of the run. Hopefully. But I really do think that Bitcoin's going to top somewhere around 130, 140, maybe 150 being the top of the market for this run. I think what's really going to set us up is not necessarily the top, right? Let's say Bitcoin runs up, right? Let me see here. I like to use this ghost feed. Let's say Bitcoin runs up to, remove that. Hold on. There, just leave it like that. Hold on, let me move this real quick. So let's say Bitcoin does some kind of a move like this, right? And we run up 150K, somewhere around there. I think that if that is the top, I think our move towards the downside is going to be great as far as like us holding a lot of gains. Because think about that. We hit that 150. If and when, let's just say we get into that bear market, right? We get into that bear market and we come down, because it's not going to come straight down. But let's just say something like that. Obviously, this is going to be, it's not going to look anything like that, but something on those lines of something like this where, we during the bear market, we come down, but we hold 80, maybe $70,000 as our low, right? That would mean the top of the previous cycle being at 69K would probably be some kind of a support level. That would be our bottom for the next cycle, right? If you understand what I'm saying. So us, breaking 150 would still set us up into a beautiful spot where, whenever we finally get into a bear market, I mean, we'll come down to maybe 80, 70, 80K being the bottom, and only setting us up for the next run, our next bull run, and in 4 or 5 years from now we're starting from 80K. That's when we'll probably hit $200,000, $300,000 for Bitcoin easily. Remember, our on the last bear market, which was just a few years ago, Bitcoin went all the way down to $15,000, guys. Like, comprehend that. Bitcoin has come from 15K in the last few years all the way up to where we're at right now, $110,000. So imagine how flipping bullish it is. Not a members only stream, so I got to be careful what I'm saying. But imagine how bullish it would be during a bear market if we came and we only came down to like 60 or 70K. Just imagine that. It would be so epic because we'd be setting up us so high up to where we would probably run, like I said, 200, 300K in the next few years. So a lot of bullishness here, even during the bear market. I still do think we're going to hold some good levels. So Twan, shout out to Twan. I appreciate that the super chat you sent me after the fact yesterday, bro. I appreciate that, dude. Let's pull up Sui. So Twan hit me up yesterday in the members only stream after the fact and was asking about Sui. His question was, do I think Sui could do a 3x on this cycle? Or really didn't give a time frame, but he just said, do you think Sui could do a 3x? So a couple factors that I took into consideration. I don't know what's going on with coin market cap, but it's like something's going on. There's a couple things that I took into consideration when I was telling Twan, yes, I do think it'll 3x. I don't know necessarily on this run. Hopefully it does during this bull run. It definitely has potential. Market cap, is up there, right? Market cap being at around $12 billion. I mean, this just yesterday, Twan, we were talking about this, and this was at 10 billion. So I mean, it's definitely, it's up there as far as market cap. For it to 3x, obviously, yesterday we were talking about it being somewhere around that $30 billion mark. It easily can get there. I say easily because it's not, 30 billion from it already being at around 12 isn't a crazy move, but on the flip side, it is, right? That's $30 billion market cap is pretty big, so I definitely do think that it can do that. So he has a lot of good things going, right? It's got a big ecosystem that it's building. It just needs to stay relevant. It needs to literally, I always feel like these ecosystems need to like follow the same game plan for the most part as Solana, where Solana brought in all the meme coins, right? Build on our ecosystem, cheap transactions, just it's a thriving ecosystem, and you guys know the rest, right? Not all, but most of the meme coins that we see, even alts, are built off of the Solana ecosystem, right? Brought in all that money coming in to the market, just building on Solana. That's what Sui needs to do, right? They need to attract a lot of developers, a lot of people that want to just, build on Sui, right? Build on Sui, cheap transactions, fast, right? It's secure network. Let's build. That's what Sui needs for it to get to those levels. That's what Solana needed. That's what really put Solana up into the main, DeFi, project, in my opinion. Really competing with Ethereum, because that's what Ethereum was before Solana. It still is, but Solana took a lot of its cake, having a lot of developers building on its ecosystem. So that's exactly what Sui needs right now. Sui, bro, found support at the 0.5 at around that 286 area. You can see a nice little support level right there. As of now, I believe this is a 382 at around the $3.45 area, somewhere around there. It's holding as some resistance. So we need to see a nice little break above this $3.45. 236 is going to be a bitch to break. You can see it's hit its head multiple times as of recently too on the 236. That's going to be a big spot, that $4.20 area. It's going to be a big spot to break. Once it does, dude, you guys will probably see some nice movement towards the upside. And really, all-time highs for Sui, I mean, it seems like it's far away. It's really not that far away. So, I mean, you're literally 56% away. So, I mean, alts start going crazy. That's probably like a solid week of Sui moving right there. So we'll see how it goes, man. I hope that shit does 3x for you, though, bro. I really do. For sure. I swear I didn't put that guy in timeout. He came in, said his one thing. DM ETF pump. Now, I wonder if he was the same guy. Now I feel bad. What if it wasn't the same guy from the other day? Now I feel bad. Keep an eye out on Moonpig. What's going on with Twitter? Bro, what's going on in California, guys? What is going on over there? I was thinking about it earlier, we're not going to get political at all, but I was just thinking about it earlier. I was like, man, if shit gets like bad enough over in California, it could start fucking with the markets. It really could. If like shit gets, to a certain level, right? Hopefully, it'll get drawn down, but it's just like all over the news. That's all you're seeing. James Wynn, we are back up. What did he do? Look what he did. He's trolling right now. He's trolling right now, guys. Look. He has an open position. Look at his position value. $39. Yeah. My boy he's literally trolling right now. That's funny. Phantom, millions of swap, one leaderboard. Here's the top token swap on Phantom last week. Fartcoin, Mask, Launchcoin, ZBCN. I'm going to pull that up in Moonpig. So this guy promotes the shit out of Moonpig, right? He definitely is like one of the developers or something. Insider on Moonpig, but who cares? As long as this shit runs, I don't give a shit. But like I said, Moonpig's so manipulated. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I picked up a bag of I've been steadily accumulating ZBCN, ZBEC. Obviously, I wish I would have listened to Flip 6 months ago. No, but like 3 months ago when he was telling everybody to buy it. But I've definitely been accumulating. It's crazy because I was talking about this on the members only stream. I was talking about on the stream. I'm reading Art's comments and I'm trying to talk at the same time and I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I was talking about this on the members only stream yesterday. I was like, bro, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, obviously it's a shot in the dark, but I was like, bro, this is gonna compete. If it can get big enough, this could compete with like XRP. And I know that sounds crazy, right? It sounds crazy, but they're both kind of the same in the same genre, right? They're a transactional project, right? They want to do transactions. They want to be there in the finance, sector of crypto, right? And ZBCN, I feel like obviously XRP is built for banking and stuff like that. So I'm not saying anything like, ZBEC is better. I'm saying they're going parallel with XRP, not versus like market cap or anything like that, but trying to get to the same goal, right? And ZBCN has been making waves. They really have been making waves. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They've been making waves. They've been slowly accumulating a lot of these different things like credit cards and stuff like that. With a market cap of $350 million, this has potential for a massive move. It already has moved massively, but I could see in the future if things go in its way, as far as ZBEC's way, this thing could easily break multi-billion-dollar market cap. So another big thing that it looks like is ZBEC acquired Gatenox, a bolstering crypto compliance for regulated markets. So we already know, was like a week ago, they acquired a science card, right? It looks like a mission-driven finance for universities Well, now they've let's see here. They buy a compliance firm. Let's just read into this because I don't even know what the hell this is. So, financial infrastructure company ZBEC Network has acquired Gateox, a compliance and identity platform to bring core regulatory infrastructure in-house and expand onto more tightly regulated markets. In an announcement shared by Cointelegraph, the company said the deal brings native known your customer KYC, know your business KYB, and anti-money laundering AML tools directly onto its Web3 payment stack. Neil, the head of the mergers and acquisition of ZBEC, said that the regulation is no longer optional and now infrastructure, while Gateox were embedding compliance into the foundation of programmable finance, making ZBEC faster, safer, and ready for institutional scale. Listen to that. With Gateox, we're embedding compliance onto the foundation of programmable finance, making ZBEC faster, safer, and ready for institutional scale. Do you hear that? That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm saying, bro, I kick myself, Flip. I always told you guys, and I didn't listen to it. I listened to it, but I just didn't like. When Flip says shit, you gotta listen to him, right? And my boy, I have to keep calling out Flip because he was in here since the day this flipping project dropped 3+ months ago, telling everybody to buy ZBEC, right? And we had all this opportunity back here to buy ZBEC, you know, and obviously this thing is just gone crazy, you know, and now that it I didn't buy it all-time highs, obviously, but now that it has come down into this descending channel, right? Bull flag, what it looks like, I've been accumulating like crazy, right? I've been accumulating like crazy because shit that we just read right there. This project, in my opinion, has a lot of upward opportunity, and the fact that we're headed in such a pro-crypto kind of landscape, not just in the United States, but for the world, financial projects like XRP and something like this, ZBEC, that are putting in all the foundation to what we just read, to be faster, safer, and institutional scale. $300 million market cap. Don't say we didn't warn you. Don't say we didn't warn you. So ZBEC to pursue MiCA and FCA compliance. ZBEC plans to leverage Gateox technology to pursue regulatory registration under the European Union's markets and crypto asset regulations, MECA, and with the United States or the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority, FCA. So if you're wondering, and I call this out, ZBEC right now is not only, but they're focused right now in Europe, which is big. Hopefully they can really start making a stand in America as well, because obviously we know with the administration right now, they're really pro crypto, but really wanting to put the shine on projects that are based in America. So I don't think that's going to hold back ZBEC whatsoever. But we would like to see, integration in the States as well. I'd like to see integration across the world, obviously, for this project. So definitely big right here. ZBEC, what I've been telling all my members, and I always say this to everybody, is, obviously with this project, what's golden is they're trading off of a lot of mid-tier exchanges right now. KuCoin, Crypto.com, Gate, Mexi, you can go down the list. You're going to pay massive fees though, right? What's awesome about this project is it's a Solana-based project. So you can go and swap, right? With your Phantom wallet, you can go and swap and pick up the project for pennies for a swap fee, right? Compared to what you're going to pay on your central exchanges. So still so obtainable on DeFi, right? That's why we love DeFi. So obtainable on DeFi for so cheap, right? But you can get in, and still you have the this project has all the aspects and all the exposure of the bigger exchanges. So Punk said Civil War. What's going on, bro? Something going on right now? Art said, "Oh yeah, a bunch of people going crazy." I didn't want to say the word, but I hear you. Art faded. I faded mass, bro, at 200K. Where? What? Cat with mask. I think we've brought up this project. No, 11 days. We haven't brought this project up. I feel like I've seen this before though. $19 million market cap. Liquidity's at about 750K. I mean, it looks good, bro. Looks good. Nice little trend towards the upside. Nice swings, but making higher lows as of now. So I mean, it looks good. Would I buy into it right now? I don't know. I mean, it's trending right now on DEX, on Sol. I just don't know if I'd buy in on it personally. Wait, what? I'm talking about ski. Oh yeah. Right? Doesn't it look like this? I'm like, wait, we've talked about this plenty of times. So it's only been out 11 days. I was like, wait, no, we haven't. These damn DeFi projects. I'm gonna actually put this on the watch list just to keep an eye on it, because I mean it is trending. Punk, don't no diddy me, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Are we seeing like a 15-minute like bull flag trying to form? Maybe. Jay said comp's making a little move. What didn't you say the other day? Someone was asking me why comp was moving. Compound, from what it's been so long since I've looked at Compound. A couple things with Compound. Compound's traded on Robinhood, right? Along with pretty much I think a lot of major exchanges, but the market cap is so low. Oops, didn't mean to do that one. The market cap's so low that like this project, you can see it goes on like spurts, where you'll see these massive runs and then it kind of will retrace itself. I don't like that fib retracement. Let's see. But I always tell you guys with like Robinhood, I don't like that fib retracement either. With like Robinhood, your Robinhood usually tends to be like the that's like the gateway crypto exchange, right? Usually people that want to trade crypto, they're like, how do I start trading crypto? And they're like, oh shit, I can trade it on Robinhood or Webull, right? And like Robinhood, it has a very selective you know, I don't know what they nowadays, I haven't been on Robinhood in so long, but you know, as of like couple years ago, it was only a few, you know, they had like maybe 2 meme coins. I'm from the Robinhood days where you could only trade Bitcoin, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and they dropped Dogecoin. And that's where I was buying my Doge in 2020, right? That's the era I'm from. Then they started dropping a lot of stuff, but remember they took a lot of stuff off because the SEC was coming after a lot of these projects. And then they took them off, and then they added them, like some of them back on. But Comp's been on there for a while, so necessarily don't know why Comp is moving. I think Compound. I'm trying to remember what Compound is. I'm pretty sure it's has to do with DeFi, if I'm not mistaken, like bridging. But look at this. Compound breaks out of an 18-month accumulation, $100 retest and focus. Yeah, look, Compound is a DeFi lending protocol that allows users to earn interest, on their cryptocurrencies by depositing them onto several pools supported by the platform. So there you go. But I mean, you can see they're on Binance, Coinbase, they're on Robinhood as well. They're not going to list it on here, but they're on Robinhood as well. So they're on every major exchange you could ever get to, right? Compound. Look at the market cap, under 500 million. So I mean, small market cap. And the circulating supply, there's only 9 million of them, right? So small circulating supply, right? You have a small market cap. It's on all major exchanges. It's an OG as far as crypto. So, I mean, you're going to see at some point this thing's going to start moving, right? Punk said, this sounds legit. I mean, I've traded compound here and there, right? I would usually pick it up for swings and then not hold on to it for long. But, I mean, you guys can see it. 2000, what was it, 2000? Yeah, 21. I remember compound was going flipping ape shit. Look at this, $900 compound. $900 compound. Fucking crazy. I hope we see an altcoin season like we saw in 2021, bro. It was legendary. It really was legendary. But yeah, compound looks like it has some resistance at around that $61, somewhere around there. And then obviously you have some good support at around $39. So if you are looking to accumulate, obviously not financial advice, but anything around that $40 or below on compound would probably be a solid spot if you get the opportunity to accumulate, given that it has such a small market cap. ICP broke above $6. Nice. Oh, yeah. See here. I think we pretty much covered everything. Don't forget, guys, real quick before we do go, Wednesday. We called this on the members only stream. Look at that fucking daily candle, bro. Holy shit. Look at that flipping. This is the biggest daily candle that we've seen since back in early May. Look at that. Massive candle, dude. That's a massive candle. Hell yeah. So we have not tomorrow but Wednesday is the core inflation, right? So we're getting the CPI report dropping on Wednesday, and technically they're saying that inflation is forecast to come up slightly. It doesn't look like it's anything to be too alarmed, but I wouldn't be surprised. We did the warning on our members only stream on Sunday. Don't be surprised if we get a little bit of volatility potentially starting tomorrow. I say a little volatility. I mean, let's just say this. Let's say maybe we're supposed to get some volatility for tomorrow because anticipating that the CPI report that's dropping Wednesday morning is going to be ticking towards the upside, right? We don't want inflation moving up, but it's going to tick towards the upside, what they claim. I don't know if this is going to be accurate because oil is such a big mover on the inflation, and oil's been down like crazy. So we'll see. But let's just say we're going to get some volatility from the inflation, right? That's going to be dropping Wednesday morning. Let's say tomorrow we get good news from the America and China meetings, right, for their tariffs. That could overshadow, any kind of volatility that we could see for tomorrow. So tomorrow might be an odd day where maybe we see some extra volatility up and down, up and down. Maybe we get good news from China. Maybe the market's a little bit spooked later in the day before market close, right? Because tomorrow morning, not tomorrow morning, but Wednesday morning, it's going to be dropping before the markets open up. So if anybody's going to be scared and wants to sell off of the stock market, they might do so before tomorrow ends, right? So we'll see how this plays out, but just expect a little volatility potentially for tomorrow. So we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully this 110 can hold. In my opinion, we have the meetings coming out tomorrow. I say we probably get good news from the meetings tomorrow. On the flip side, we get some volatility maybe occurring, aka maybe some sell pressure from anticipation of the CPI report for Wednesday. CPI report drops on Wednesday. It's a tick up. We see those CPI report days, particularly when the markets open up, right when we get the numbers, some up and downs, right? A few hours later, the market blows it right off, in my opinion, just because it's not like they're expecting the inflation to just go crazy up. It's going, their previous was 2.8 for the year over year. They're expecting it to go up maybe one tick to 2.9%, right? So that's not anything crazy. That's not going to make Jerome Powell start increasing rates or anything like that. I just think it's obviously we want to see it continue to move towards the downside, but it ticking up 1%, 0.1%. I don't think it's going to be anything to run home and tell mom about. So that's what I expect to happen, but we'll see how the markets play out. But with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it. Looks like the markets are looking damn good today. Bitcoin, again, above 110,000 for right now. We're looking good. Hopefully we can hold this momentum and we can see alts finally starting to move towards the upside. So let's see here. DeFi says, so you're gonna jump? You're gonna jump in a long now, bro? I'm not gonna jump in a long. I'm kicking myself because obviously I don't even have my shit open for my leverage. I closed leverage. Remember, I had my members knew yesterday I had a short open, and I was like, it was open from like 2 days ago, right? And we dropped down to, I don't know if you guys remember, it was like yesterday morning, I think it was, or the morning before, we dropped down to like 105, right? And I was like, bro, I wish, it was like in the middle of the night, I was like, I wish I would have been up because I wanted to get out of my position without taking any kind of a loss, and that was my exit. And that was like my main thing yesterday. I was telling everybody, we were talking about it. I was like, I'm looking for an exit to get out of this short because I knew what today was going to bring. I knew the China meetings were coming up, stuff like that. So I ended up finding a way to get out with very minimal loss. But I'm kicking myself because I didn't flip and open up a freaking long this morning or yesterday, right? And now that we've already jumped up to 110, I am very bullish. But at the same time, I'm not bullish enough to where I'm going to be just opening up longs right now after, this massive green candle that we've seen on the daily. Me personally, I like to take, like, it's hard because when you get into leverage trading, you get addicted to trading leverage. It's like you have to have some kind of position open at all times, essentially. And it's like I'm trying to get away from that to where I can, open positions, do good, close them, and let it be for a little while. So right now, as of tonight, I'm going to just let shit be, and just kind of, I can sleep good tonight knowing that I don't have any leverage open, and we'll see how it plays out for tomorrow. But it's itching me because I'm bullish, right? But at the same time, I'm like, maybe right now would be a good time, at 110 to open up. I know you guys aren't going to want to hear it, but open up a short, because of freaking the CPI report that's coming out, right? Take advantage of the volatility. But then I'm like, well, what if the China, shit comes out tomorrow and let's just say Trump's like, we got a deal, tariffs are done for China, we're done. The market's going to freaking go crazy and rally. So I was like, you know what? The whole time I've just been thinking about this. I'm like, you know what? I'm probably just going to stay out of leverage for the next like 12 hours, 12 to 24 hours and just let the markets kind of do their thing. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. But yeah, man, leverage is like an addiction. It really is. It's like a freaking addiction. So, but with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Bro, I'm so happy to look at the chat and just see all green. Really, I really am. DeFi, you need to flip your name into green, bro. Come join us. We talk about leverage all the time on our members only stream. I'm opening up leverage live on member streams. So, but with that being said, guys, thank you. I do appreciate you guys. Be safe out there. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we wake up and the markets are still holding some solid numbers, but no matter what, we're bullish long term. We got some big movement coming up. Memes, alts, they haven't even freaking started yet. So big things to come. With that being said, guys, thank you again. Have a fantastic night. If you haven't already, hit the like. If you're watching this later, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, guys? Thank you again. See ya.